So anyways, thank you all for coming. We did modular knife this morning, we did Bolo this afternoon. As Remy always said, you know, stick is for training only, that in real, the tool of combat is a Bolo, or it has something that has an edge that's designed to actually be lethal and be more combative. His family taught Bolo. They didn't teach it in public. They taught it to the different Marine and guerrilla squads that were there. And when his grandfather and uncle died, he kept their bolos and had them over the mantelpiece. And I don't know if this is his grandfather's or his uncle's. I have them both. Remy took them off the mantle and with Cristino came and gave them to me. But this is an original Presas Bolo that was used in World War II. It's light, it's fast. And when I went to find the makers, because I was named the guardian of the legacy of Bolo by the Philippine government, Remy's family, you know, it was a good honor. It was a pleasure to go back, try to teach. I couldn't find the Bolos. I mean, I had these. And I was in Canada, and I found a young man who was selling Filipino gear, shields, and those plaques with all the little knives on them and the whole bit, and selling some different Filipino knives. And I asked him, I started to describe it. There's like dead silence. He goes, "You mean like a Presas Bolo?" Actually, yes. He goes, "My family used to make them. We haven't made those for decades." I said, "Well," I explained what was going on. He goes, "Would you like me to remake them?" And over time, depending on which one of his cousins or relatives actually is forging them that day, that run that I get, because I custom one, are all identical. But each batch is a little different than the next one, because like at Randall Knives, one guy makes Model 1s and trains in someone to make Model 1s. They don't make anything else their whole life. Someone makes Model 2s, makes Model 4s, and someone else makes guards and handles. So a lot of the custom knife world goes, "They're not a custom knife shop." Well, every knife is hand forged. It's just one guy mentors in someone else, and that's what they do their whole life. And a friend of mine, Mikey, that's all he did for 20 years, was make Model 1s. He left Randall, went to make knives. I go to his first custom show was a whole table of Model 1s and went, "What is that?" He goes, "Bram, I don't know how to make anything else." I start forging and they all come out to be Model 1s. That's all they've ever done. I went, I got it. Anyways, Earnab makes them. But like I said, this is either his grandfather's or his uncle's. And all the stuff I was taught about stick, well, I guess I should leave this. I should stick it through my armpit. About measure the stick. Measuring stick doesn't matter. Measuring a Bolo does, because if you can fold the flat of your hand over it, by the time you grab it, you lost another 6 inches. That means I can turn it inside the circumference of my arms and not cut myself. Nobody cares about a stick. You bump yourself with a stick, you bump yourself with a Bolo, you can cut your elbows off and get the inside of your arm. But this is designed, and everyone obviously has to be made for you. They didn't make production Bolos back then. So everything's made to measure the fit inside you. The late Bill Bagwell used to do that for boots. What I did for a couple of my teams was I worked with Jeff Turner, and we made, everyone on the team carries it in Israel and over other deployments in the way, so we made L60 versions with very tough handles. And it was because a lot of the bad guys over there have short swords, they have types of Bolos, and everyone in the world carries machetes these days. Machetes are the #1 terror tool in the world. And machetes are a de-evolution of what we call Bolos, and of hand-me-downs, Chinese big knives. We didn't make agricultural tools like machetes for modern era, but we made weapons of war long before that. I could cut trees down with this, but the tip is too small. There's not enough weight, which is why machetes have more weight up front. People go, "Oh, so you can't cut people." I said, machetes will cut people to little pieces. That's why I still teach the teams, because so many of the bad guys have machetes, and anybody can buy them in every country. It behooves them to learn what I call Bolo, the big knife work. Learning sword work has no application in today's world. Big pole axes have no application in today's world. It might be fun to learn it, but no one's doing it. But everybody's got machetes. Everybody, every country, and they're inexpensive. Bolo is a big knife, not a small sword. It's very similar to the hand-me-down of China. And I've said this to a few people, you know, on a map, everyone draws the Philippines on a flat map, north and south. And it's actually sort of east-west because of the globe. So coming down from China, you end up in the Visayas and Cebu area before you end up in northern Philippines or far southern Philippines. And the tool reflects it. But anyways, most sword work, most buoy work, we block with the back and block with the flat. Remy was first teaching me abanico. With a stick, it's okay. I mean, there's things I can do with abanico stick. But abanico with a buoy made sense. And with a bolo, when an attack comes in, I block with the flat. Because we block with the edge, as I was taught in the old days when I first started FMA, 60 years ago, you ruin your edge. People bang edge to edge. People go, what's the big deal? Well, you get microfractures. The edge starts pitting, and the last thing you're going to find out is on a good clean hit, your blade snaps in half. They went, won't happen. And all of you will appreciate the irony of this, that Jet Li does a movie, I forgot which one it was, but he's banging away with a big blade, and it chips and snaps in half. And all my years of going, don't do that, having custom makers with me going, don't do that, the blade will break. Took a Jet Li movie for people to go, oh, sir, did you know the blade could chip and break? I went, it took a movie? It took a movie for you guys to get that? Okay. Last time I was together with Chad, we took two beautiful hardcore machetes, definitely designed for hard work, and let him strike, and he just blocked with the flat. Barely got score marks on it. Might have rounded his edge a little bit, but it didn't get through. And then we did real light single Sinawali. And within minutes, we trashed those blades. We cut pits because both are equally as hard, and we were banging. People went, oh! I went, that's why we don't do that.